Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good morning. And welcome to the Marriott Downtown Hartford for year 2 of Insuring the Future. My name is Connor Geary. When I'm announcing for the basketball capital of the world, I go by the name Game Day Connor. I promise here today in front of the insurance capital of the world, Connor is perfectly fine with me. I'll accept that. Today promises to be a fantastic conversation where we welcome professionals, subject matter experts, to have an open and honest conversation geared towards sharing insights and fostering collaboration and highlighting best practices to our end goal, which is insurance solutions on climate resilience and, of course, community impact. So it's a great privilege to be here with you, emceeing this event throughout the day. It's an honor to be here. And I look forward to learning a lot and hearing from many of you about ways that we can make that impact in our community, facing the realities that we have before us. At this time, I would like to welcome up for some opening remarks the Commissioner of the Connecticut Insurance Department. Please welcome Commissioner Andrew Mais. I am not Commissioner Andrew Mais, just for the record. So, identity crisis for a moment. He'll be here in just a moment. He's outside waiting for one of our guests to join us today. In the meantime, I want to dole out some thank yous. I'd like to thank the Metro Hartford Alliance and their CTIFS initiative, Insurance and Financial Services. A round of applause for Metro Hartford Alliance and the team that I think helped you register in there as well, too. I didn't know I was going to be up there. I would also like to thank the Connecticut Insurance Department for helping to put this on and hosting this important conversation. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to be talking a lot today and have panel conversations, have a dialogue, and hear from a lot of folks who have expertise in various fields, ensuring, pun intended, that the goal is to walk out of here better informed about ways that we can prepare, ways that we can make sure that certainly this industry is better prepared for the climate realities before it. I want to say a note to those that might be here for the educational component before and after the panels. Just a reminder, in order for you to claim the credit, there's going to be a QR code up on the screen for you. It'll be important for you to scan that QR code, to fill out the form that is available to you, and then you also need to make sure that you sign out at the end as well. So I need you to scan that QR code at the beginning and scan that QR code at the end. I want to thank, and we'll do this a little bit later on, the sponsors who are in attendance today for helping to make this conversation possible. We'll be recognizing you throughout the day, but as I wait and do my very best job at paddling above water before Commissioner Mais comes up on stage, I want to recognize you for your contributions and your support as well, too. You know, there are some realities that we have seen in terms of climate and weather patterns. Certainly we've felt those here in Connecticut as well, too. We've seen some flooding. We've seen, you know, the smoke from wildfires that have really blanketed the country as well, too. And these realities that we have to face are becoming more and more regular, and so it's incumbent upon us to understand ways that we can secure and ensure and protect against that. And one of the things in learning about this dialogue today that I was really most certainly impressed by and proud of as well to participate in this is recognizing that there are underserved populations, that it is, I'd say, our job. I announce games for a living, so, you know, I'll take a little bit of responsibility, but it's really the job of the insurance department to make sure that those communities are well served as well, and making sure that financial losses and claims that might be associated with some of these more frequent, more devastating climate and weather patterns that we see really do not in a disproportionate way affect those who might be disadvantaged and have fewer privileges than some of the other neighborhoods that we might live in. I'm getting the 2 sign. Does that mean he's 2 minutes away or 2 months away? Which is it? I'm just figuring that out. 2 minutes? Perfect. I've got a 2-minute warning. A 2-minute warning I'm used to. I can do that as well too. Normally I would have t-shirts to throw out at this point and make a lot of you happy and the other half of you very, very mad at me. But I think I can make this happen for 2 minutes. Is this anybody's first time to the conversation? Yes, welcome. If your hands are down, I imagine it's because you were here last year. Who was here last year for the conversation? Welcome back. I hope you found it insightful. It's great to have you back again as we kind of see how this conversation evolves year over year. Am I getting the high sign? How'd I do? Honestly, how'd I do? I didn't even have a script for this. It's like 6 minutes, right? Come on. I'd say without further ado, but you know, we've played that. Please welcome to the stage Commissioner of the Connecticut Insurance Department. Almost ready? 30-second warning. With a long, drawn-out, resounding, resilient, loud, early morning downtown Hartford round of applause, Commissioner Andrew Mais. Thank you, Commissioner.
Apologies for the slight delay. I was so thrilled to be here that I was skipping, couldn't quite make it in here on time. But I just want to say good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm, as you just heard, Andrew Mais, Commissioner of the Connecticut Insurance Department, and it is an honor to welcome you to what is the 2nd annual Insuring the Future Summit, but actually the 6th straight climate event that we at the Connecticut Insurance Department have hosted. We are proud to co-host the summit, bringing together experts, leaders, and innovators from across the insurance industry and beyond. This is Hartford. We are the insurance capital of the world, and it is up to us to take the lead on addressing the risk caused by climate change. I'm glad to see so many people here in the room today. We've got various stakeholders, we've got students, we've got legislators, we've got members of the executive branch, we've got industry, we've got academics, we've got consumer representatives, and that is important because only by working together will we be able to address this risk. Climate change is already affecting the risks we insure, and it's no secret, its impacts are already being felt by our communities, our businesses, and public infrastructure. Now, insurance, as we all know, is a tool for resilience. It enables communities to recover from disasters, but also by moving up front, by doing mitigation, we can reduce economic loss, and we can give residents and businesses the confidence that they can weather extreme events. We know they're coming. We know more of them are coming. We know we must be prepared, and that is why we are here today. We understand that protecting people from climate-related risks requires foresight, planning, and collaboration. Innovation and technology are transforming the way we assess and manage risk. From parametric insurance to advanced climate modeling, data analytics are helping us understand exposure in ways we never could before. These tools help insurers to design products that better meet the needs of residents and businesses while, and I'm going to keep coming back to this phrase, supporting more resilient communities. I'm up here and I've got the mic, so I'm going to take a moment now to highlight a new initiative that I'm really proud of. It's an initiative from the Insurance Department here, and we've got a number of Insurance Department staffers. Everybody's worked together on this, and it exemplifies the type of approach that we think needs to be taken to properly manage climate risk. We recently launched, if you go to our website, ct.gov/CID, we launch a free, easy-to-use online mapping and risk-related tool that allows Connecticut residents to assess the risk from flooding, wildfires, heat, and hail at their specific properties. We're using First Streets, and they're a nonprofit, state-of-the-art platform. And you can go on. You enter your address, and you immediately see visual maps and property-specific risk reports. This tool provides a marked improvement over the static flood maps that have long been relied upon, and it helps homeowners and businesses make more informed decisions about protection, about mitigation, about insurance. We saw the need for better risk assessment last year after the catastrophic flooding in parts of Western Connecticut. Many of those residents that were affected did not have flood insurance because they believed they were not at risk. Well, I think those of us in the insurance industry knows, we all know if it rains, it can flood. We need to make sure, and what this project will do is ensure that Connecticut residents have better access to the information they need to protect themselves, their families, their communities, and this great state. Again, the tool is available. You go on our website. It's at our Flood Information Center, and we certainly encourage you to try it. Let us know what you think. Let us know how we can make it better, because this is part of what we are here to do. This is part of what this governor, this lieutenant governor, this administration is here to do. We are here to ensure that every resident of Connecticut has the information, has the tools to address these changing risks. That's also what this year's summit is about. It brings together an exceptional lineup, and if you've looked through the list of speakers, I don't know how I got into it, because, you know, compared to some of these people, you look at some of the people that are just stunning in this field, and it will cover a wide range of issues at the intersection of climate, innovation, and insurance. And that means the latest on public health, for instance, on climate science, on housing, on risk modeling, and on sustainable investment strategies. Again, Connecticut is proud to lead on these issues. We recently, and I see my co-chairs over here, we recently convened the Extreme Weather Mitigation and Resiliency Advisory Council, and we brought together experts to develop recommendations for programs that make homes and businesses more resilient to flooding, to extreme weather, to climate-related risks. Now, the council delivered its final report with actionable steps, and I can't stress how important this is. So I know how I react to stuff. You know, you're going to tell me that, okay, this might happen, but if there's nothing I can do about it, I'm going to close my eyes and just walk away. That's why this report has actionable steps that we all can take to help reduce economic losses, to keep residents in their homes, and to support a more competitive, a stronger insurance market. And I'm glad to be able to say you will be able to hear from our co-chairs today. They will give you more information on that. And it's not just about risk management, it's also about opportunity by working together. All of us in this room, as I mentioned, people we represent, government, industry, academia, the public, we can foster innovation and thus protect consumers and support sustainable growth. Collaboration is the key to ensuring that Connecticut continues to remain a leader in insurance, in climate resilience, and in innovation. We've got a really exciting program ahead. It's a unique opportunity to learn from each other, spark ideas, strengthen the networks that will allow us to face the future challenges together. So, thank you for being here today. I look forward to the conversation, to the insights, to the solutions that will emerge from the summit as we continue to innovate. But first of all, I have to tell you, I'm looking forward to hearing from, and I'm honored to introduce, the Lieutenant Governor of our great state, Bysiewicz. Lieutenant Governor Bysiewicz, I'm going to read your bio here for a second, is now serving her second term as Connecticut 109th Lieutenant Governor. Everybody who knows her knows she has been a dedicated leader in addressing the impact of climate change on our state. Her work has helped advance initiatives like the Governor's Council on Climate Change, its targeted working groups, and the development of a comprehensive energy strategy. And these efforts are reflected in reports such as Taking Action on Climate Change and Building a More Resilient Connecticut for All, underscoring her commitment to protecting our communities and building the long-term resilience that we as a society need. So please join me in welcoming Lieutenant Governor Susan Bysiewicz.
Commissioner, thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. I'm so glad to be here for the second annual Insuring the Future Summit. You've heard that we are indeed the basketball capital of the world. We are also the pizza capital of the world. Stay tuned. Tomorrow we announce our pizza trail, and that will be the top 100 pizza spots in our beautiful state. Take that, New Jersey and New York. And of course, we're the submarine capital of the world. But we're here today because indeed we are the insurance capital of the world, and there is no better place to hold this summit than right here in Hartford, who has hosted that capital for more than 100 years. Today, we are bringing together regulators, industry experts, academics, and advocates to together tackle some very tough issues. The challenges are real. We've seen in our state climate change, wildfires that burn for days, superstorms that level homes on our shorelines, or 100-year-plus floods that happen every year. So we have so much to talk about: rising healthcare costs, housing pressures that are hitting our families and our communities every day, and of course, there's a lot of uncertainty about how federal programs and funding, or the lack thereof, will affect our state. So today, what's exciting about what we are doing is that we are focusing on solutions, from building more resilient communities to using better data and compliance tools to creating new products that meet our risks. Insurance plays an important role in protecting people and families, supporting investment, and keeping our economy here in Connecticut strong. So I want to say thank you to our Commissioner, Andrew Mais, to Connecticut, IFS, Cognizant, and all of our sponsors who made this summit happen today. And with that, it's my pleasure to introduce someone who's been leading the way on strengthening our economy, protecting our families, and preparing our state for the future, our fearless leader, Ned Lamont.
Thanks, Susan and Andy. Good morning, everybody. Sorry to be a few minutes late. Want to see if the voice of the yard goats could filibuster. I think he did a pretty good job. You're going to go to the U.S. Senate. You can waste some time down there. And Susan mentioned insurance capital of the world and pizza capital of the world. A little cheeky, the pizza capital of the world. I did hear from a number of Italian mayors who thought that may be a little aggressive, but, you know, I said, come visit. We can prove me wrong. I'll pick up where our amazing Commissioner Andrew Mais, left off. Somebody recently said that climate change is a con job. Well, mentioned that to the farmers I saw in the Connecticut River Valley a couple of years ago, who had been really worried about severe drought conditions. And 5 days later, their crops were a foot underwater. And we were working hard to get them some low-interest loans, and they said, we're still paying off the low-interest loans from the last 3 floods. And that's how we're thinking about what we could do to make sure that's a little less likely to happen again. Andy mentioned, down in Naugatuck Valley and Oxford, the severe, sudden, shocking flooding where, you got an electronic notice that there might be a rainstorm, and then you're standing, 1 foot underwater in your store, and you got a notice, watch out for the flooding. And, as Andy said, I was just really shocked that none of those homes, none of those businesses had any flood insurance because they were not in the floodplain. So we've put in place some efforts that Andy said. We're going to take a second look at the floodplain and revisit that and make sure that people have the very best information they need so that they know what risks they are when they build where they are, where they buy where they are. I've got to believe that artificial intelligence will be a big piece of that mapping, years to come. So we're doing a little better than saying, boy, we haven't had a 50-year storm like this in 25 years. We'll be a lot more exact, a lot more personalized in terms of insurance, block by block and home by home. And I think I saw Rob Hodling here, helping take the lead, working with you, I hope, in terms of give us advice on how we can rebuild these homes better. Sale is here, our Commissioner of Housing. Where would you give people incentives? Where would you give them bonuses if they rebuilt or fortified their homes to make them a little less likely for flooding, for example? Help us think about that. We're rebuilding our roads up, an extra 2 feet higher. We're rebuilding our bridges an extra 3 feet higher because the little river down in Oxford, all of a sudden trees are getting poured through and they're tearing apart our bridges. Give us some advice. Give us your very best thoughts on where and how we can rebuild as a state and as homeowners in terms of resilience. This is something we need to do together, and I'd like to think that each and every one of you have the expertise to get it right. And we as a state, need your input and your advice. I think Brian Garcia is going to be coming to speak a little bit later. He runs something called the Green Bank, where we provide financing for many things, including resilience. But you tell us how you would define resilience. You tell us where we get the most bang for the buck. And you tell us where those greatest risks are. We need your assistance there. We have a lot of electric substations that almost went underwater during Hurricane Sandy, and so we're raising those particular substations. But if you think about our infrastructure and our electric infrastructure, give Eversource some advice as well about where you think those risks are and what we can do going forward to mitigate those risks. We're trying to do everything long-term in terms of climate change and trying to reduce our carbon footprint. I was just out at Millstone yesterday trying to get another extension on that carbon-free, always-on electricity from the nuclear power plant. But we as a state can't do this alone either. We need the support of the federal government. Right now, they're not there. If they, reduce those clean air standards, all of a sudden the acid rain coming up from West Virginia is going to be decimating us again. But on a happier note, let's see what we can do together, how we can work together, how we can use AI to be a lot more precise about where those risks are, what we can do to mitigate wildfires and flooding and droughts, and the ways that we can make that just a little bit less likely. And as Andy said, thank you, on behalf of the state for what you do. Giving people a little bit of security, a little bit of confidence that we can mitigate some of those risks that gives them more confidence in the future. Thanks, everybody. Great to be back.
Thank you so much, Governor Lamont and Lieutenant Governor Bysiewicz. It's really reassuring to hear that we have informed, passionate leadership at the state level, looking ahead, looking to make commitments, utilizing technology to ensure that the planning going forward has that block-by-block mentality. That's really nice to hear. At this time, I'd like to welcome to the stage to give her opening remarks from CTIFS. Please welcome Susan Winkler.
Good morning, everybody. On behalf of CTIFS Board of Directors, thank you for joining us today at the second annual Insuring the Future event. I have a special thank you to Amanda, Jen, Kate Lewis, and all my colleagues at Metro Hartford Alliance for your tireless efforts in putting together the summit. I want to have a big shout out to the CID team, Alex, Anna, Mary, and everybody else for a great partnership once again this year. I'd like to say also thank you to title sponsor, Cognizant, and also future talent sponsor, RVI Group, who is here for the first time. I want to say thank you to them for that sponsorship, and to Jim Bedard, former chair of CTIFS, who brought a team together, but with that also welcoming Western New England, UConn, Yale, University of Hartford, Quinnipiac, CCSU, and others. Let's give a round of applause for our future talent sponsor and students. And of course, all the sponsors who, without their support, we would not be able to host this world-class insurance event here in the insurance capital of the world, and for Commissioner Mais, the insurance capital of the universe, as he told me last night. We're expanding. So what is today's conversation? Why does it matter? Why does all the information you just heard, and why is it the U.S. right now, both insurers and regulators are turned towards climate matters and all looking in the same direction? So I'm going to give you some of the data. You heard a lot of the anecdotal reasons and things that have actually happened. But here's some data, and this data this year is coming from Alchemy Crew and Verisk. So did you know that this is the new, average annual insurance losses for cat losses for 2024 is now $152 billion. So it was $100 billion and it was going up, and the new number is $152 billion for 2024. The frequency perils now account for 2/3 of all those losses. And in the first half of 2025, just the first half of this year, 18 of 19 of the $1 billion losses were all in the U.S. So of all of those natural cat losses, 18 of 19 of the $1 billion, those over $1 billion, were in the U.S., which is why we're here talking about this today. And of course, we can't go over the data without also thinking about those that are uninsured, and with the LA wildfires, less than 40 billion were insured. So that's also an issue we're talking. Today we'll hear about the top experts from around the US on how to manage this new normal. So what do we need? Do we need more mitigation technologies from insurtechs? Do we need incentives? We talked about incentives a minute ago for insureds, us, for protecting our properties. Is that going to make us do some more things to be prepared by giving us incentives? Do we need more transparency in models and regulations? Or maybe we just need more time, understanding, and patience to have the folks that are running the public and private partnerships and are managing future risks, give them time to manage those risks for the insureds and the uninsured. Maybe we'll find the answers today. But before I introduce the next speaker, I'm also really excited to tell you about a new enhancement to the program. So there are two environmentally conscious artists here today. They're in the back of the room. I see them now. I'm going to read a little bit about them. Max Giggle, his photography focuses on the details of everyday life to create human-centric narratives. His work highlights both the beauty and impertinence of the world, prompting reflection on humanity's relationship with our environment. Using vivid color and strong composition, he balances close detail with expansive perspective, offering viewers new ways to see meaning in both the personal and the monumental. Abhijit Shrivastava, who is here today, who I met at Climate Tech in DC and happened to purchase something there. He is Global Manager for Sustainable AI Infrastructure at Microsoft. So that's his day job. And he's an award-winning climate artist using biochar, which is a material that uses carbon. His artwork portrays striking visual narratives that raise awareness and inspire action. Each purchase of his work supports farmers, improves soil health, advances sustainable practices, making his art not only visually powerful, but also a tangible act of climate action. So please take a moment today to look at the artwork in the lobby. These artists are here to inspire and deepen your understanding and commitment to the sustainable world, in addition to everything you're going to learn and listen to today. So I hope you enjoy that. At this point in time, I would like to introduce another very special guest, client partner from Cognizant, Purnima Varadhan.
Thank you, Susan, for the intro. Good morning. It's a privilege to be here in Hartford, the insurance capital of the world. It's going to be very soon universe. And to open this important event alongside Governor Ned Lamont, Governor Susan, Commissioner Andrew, Susan Winkler, and so many distinguished leaders. Cognizant is honored to be the title sponsor of this incredible event. The state of Connecticut and the city of Hartford are deeply embedded in our business and our story. We are a New York Stock Exchange listed company with $20 billion in revenue and global workforce of 300,000 across 40 countries. While we serve many industries, we are a largest provider of technology and operation services for the insurance and healthcare sectors. Our roots in Connecticut run deep. The genesis of our insurance business was Hartford. Of our 45,000 employees in North America, 5,000 are based here in Connecticut, working closely with insurers. This moment is personal for me. I have lived in Connecticut for 10 years and raised my daughter here. I have been with Cognizant for 23 years, most of the time serving insurance customers globally. There is truly no better time or place than to now speak about climate and risk in the state of Connecticut that shaped my life and career. Climate change is no longer a distant concern. It's a present reality. It's shaping underwriting, claims, customer expectations, and lives. As insurers, technologists, and policymakers, we must respond not just with coverage, but with courage. That's why Cognizant is investing in AI as a catalyst for climate resilience. Under our CEO Ravi Kumar's leadership, we have committed $1 billion to enterprise AI, launched the Synapse initiative to upskill 1 million people, and led the world's largest generative AI hackathon very recently. We also joined the White House AI Education Task Force, pledging support to help thousands of teachers and students to build AI literacy by 2028. We are also investing in climate analytics, ESG platforms, and AI-driven solutions that help carriers anticipate risk and build resilience. Beyond business, we are deeply invested in outreach, supporting workforce development, digital literacy, and inclusive innovation. Our initiatives underscore the core principle: technology must serve as an enabler, not a barrier, and resilience should be embedded not only within systems, but across communities they support. These investments are driving real impact, helping insurers simulate climate scenarios, personalize protection, and predict risk with precision. As our CEO often says, AI is not just about automation, it's about augmentation. It's about empowering underwriters, agents, claims professionals, regulators to make faster, smarter, and more equitable decisions in the face of uncertainty. Today's agenda reflects that urgency and ambition. We will explore how public-private partnerships, data innovation, and inclusive design can help us build climate-resilient communities and close the protection gaps. This isn't just about adapting to a change, it's about shaping it. Thank you again for the opportunity to be part of this dialogue. We look forward to the conversations ahead and to building more resilient, inclusive, and a climate-ready Connecticut. Let's get started. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Purnima. At this time, we're going to welcome up to the stage our first panelists of guests for a fireside chat. And this conversation is going to focus on exploring the investments available for sustainable and resilient communities as we bring together experts who are going to be talking about insurance, climate advice, as well as education, housing, and outreach as well. Moderating this conversation will be Commissioner Andy Mais, please.